world? It's your boy Mike Muse for the Conversation, the Mike Muse Show. I am so excited to be in conversation with my next two guests. They are dynamic women. When they walked in, they just brought so much good energy and so much good vibes. And I said, okay, I think we're in for a good time. As you know, audience, I always tell people the show isn't about me. I just moderate energy. So the better the energy of the guest and the team and the crew, the better the energy is going to be. If the energy isn't good, the energy is going to put it. You know what? It ain't my fault. I always like to use that qualifier. But these two came in hot. And I am so excited. And there's something kind of emotional. And I was wondering how I was going to feel about this because I got introduced to soap operas with my grandmother. And you guys know my grandmother is my hero. May she rest in peace. That was my ace, my number one supporter. And every time I was sick, my parents would drop me off at my grandma and granddad's house. And my grandmother made sure that no one touched that dial when the Young and the Restless came on. And I have such a special relationship with soap operas as a result of her. And so I know my grandmother is I know she's looking down being proud that I have grandma two soap operas on the Mike Muse Show. We never imagined I'll have a show, nor I'll have two soap operas, which you love so much, Grandma. And so without further ado, the incredible Tamara Tunie, what's happening?
Good afternoon. I pronounce it Tamara, just
Tamara,
so you know.
So
that's okay.
I got my emotions real quick.
I know that's all right. And I wish I had known your grandmother. I'm sure she was extraordinary.
She was lovely.
Yes, indeed. But
she loved soap operas.
And I thank her for that. You know, both Daphnée and I are veteran soap opera actors.
I know.
And so, and she was a CBS woman, so I'm sure she watched As the World Turned.
Oh, she did. I mean, the dial did not change. Daphnée Duplaix, what's happening? How are you?
I'm great, honey. How are you?
I'm feeling good. Also, too, a soap
You came with the energy.
Oh.
I walked in, and the energy was already there, okay? Just so you know.
I thank you so much. I mean, it truly is an honor just to be in conversation with you all. You guys have this incredible new daytime series, Beyond the Gates. And my good friend, Brandon Claiborne, is on this show, too. As
fantastic.
well. Yeah, he's a good homie, so I'm so proud of him.
He plays her son.
He plays my son.
No way.
Yes.
What's up, Ma?
And my grandson.
What's up, Grandma?
That's right.
We up here. We in the building. How does it feel to come back to soap opera, in particular in this world that is set? It's such a beautiful, I haven't had a chance to see it, but the world looks beautiful. The trailer looks beautiful.
Yes, it is beautiful.
Oh.
It is black and beautiful.
Yeah.
It feels fantastic. You know, I spent 15 years in daytime, so it's kind of coming full circle for me. That's where I had my start and kind of was the foundation for me to do so many other things that I've done throughout my career. So it is coming full circle and coming onto this show, which is historical by nature, which is glass ceiling breaking by nature. You know, it's so exciting, and you can feel the energy and the support that's already happening before the show even launches. I mean, you know, social media has been on fire since October. You know what I mean? So it's really exciting.
Yeah, and I mean, the energy around the trailer is fantastic. And I love the trailers. You guys are cutting and getting straight to the drama. Let us know. It's about to be intense, Daphnée.
It is, absolutely. You know what? I keep telling everybody, it's not, like she likes to say, it's not your mama's or grandmama's soap opera. Like, we're not reinventing the wheel. We're just making it better.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's invigorating. It's fresh. I mean, the music, we have Paramount Plus behind us. So, you know, that opening scene, it's like you just want to dance and get up and party. And the way it's shot very like nighttime soap or, you know, like what we see on after 8 p.m. essentially. And it's going to be fun. It's going to be a ride. People are going to love. They're going to love what they see. They're going to love what how they connect to the characters. I always say you're either going to love us or love to hate us, right? But you're going to love us.
Yes.
Yes.
Tell me about the lighting. I feel like a lighting is such an important part of this. It's almost, I look at films, for me, landscapes can be a secondary character.
Absolutely.
And I think music is a tertiary character. But there was something about viewing this, it made me feel like the lighting was a very integral part of this. Can you talk to me a little bit the way that the lighting is playing in
Yeah,
this?
absolutely. I mean, first I just want to say that, you know, our lighting designer is African American.
Oh.
And our set designer is African American, and the head of makeup is African American, and the head of hair is African American, and the head of wardrobe is African American, and the executive producer is African American, and the head writer is African American, and so it matters. So to get back to your question about lighting,
Yes, that's it. Tamara, that's it right there.
Yes,
that's the reason.
Yes, and lighting daytime drama is different because it's filmed differently, and so there was a bit of a learning curve for everyone, including our lighting designer. But the fact that he recognizes, you know, color and how color should be lit.
Exactly.
And that as a community, we are a rainbow of different colors. So yeah. It's important. It matters, and he's lighting the hell out of this show. So it's looking
I just
good.
want to salute that team because audience, what was just described is rare. And it does not happen. And because
it's
Black
not
people
rare,
were,
it never happens.
Never. It never happened.
This
That's
is
even
the
better.
first
Yeah,
time.
it's
It's the first time.
This is
Exactly.
the first time.
Right.
Because we have, as the Black diaspora, have multiple hues,
Yes.
right? And to be able to understand the nuance of how different individuals need to be lit.
Yes.
In the daytime world and television world that I work in, I'm always seeming like I'm the extra guy because I come in, I'm like, yo, this lighting is so off.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Why do I
And
look yellow?
Yes. Or
Yes.
gray sometimes.
gray,
Or dry.
yes.
And I always tell the team, I was like, that matters to the audience as they're watching. Like, we see with our eyes so much, and how you look is so part of the visual storytelling.
Absolutely.
And so I don't want
Absolutely.
to just brush over what you all just said in the sense of the lighting director and the costume director and the head of makeup. Like, all that is so important to get the nuance of us.
Absolutely. And just speaking of hair, we have every texture of Black hair represented
that.
on this show, which is
Absolutely.
fantastic. And we have professionals who understand Black hair,
Right.
and that it is different textures as well. You know what I mean, and how to treat and address each texture of hair.
Yeah.
And as Black actors, throughout our careers, there have been times when we've had to show up with our hair already done, or show up with our own products and our
then
own
we go
tools.
in our trailer and fix it when we're done.
So so it's really fantastic. It's amazing.
It was really important for Wonki, our head of hair. She's like, I wanted to make sure every hair type was represented in this show.
Yes.
So that everybody who tuned in saw themselves.
Exactly.
And the reason I'm kind of leaning into this a little bit more, and my audience is ready for this, I'm very technical. And so I do believe that details matter. And what I'm taking away, audience, as I'm listening to these dynamic women, is that the detail matters so much about what these individuals look like and showed up, but also then the storytelling then will be very authentic.
Absolutely. It's written
Talk to
by
us a little bit,
for us.
Talk to us a little bit about some of the story lines and how they were able to get the nuance of like the Black diaspora, which by the way is universal storytelling too,
and that's
as
what
well.
I was just about to say.
Yeah,
our stories are
absolutely.
exactly the same. Our skin color might be different, but we love the same way, we hate the same way, we're sad the same way. Our struggles obviously have been different, but like Tamara said earlier, there is no rate. It's the human race, right? We all feel, we all bleed, we all, and hopefully people watch this show and see that universal love that we all have, the universal hate that we might have when a subject comes up that's, really touchy. And yeah, I just hope it's accepted by everybody because it should be.
And what I'll add to that is the writers are insinuating Black culture into the scripts every day. Every day. I'm learning about things. And because this takes place in a fictional community around the District of Columbia, Maryland, Virginia area, there's the opportunity to talk about HBCUs. There's the opportunity to talk about the Harriet Tubman Museum in Maryland. There's the opportunity to talk about, all kinds of cultural little nuggets that are just peppered throughout this show. And the fact that Clifton Davis, who is playing my husband, Vernon Dupree, is a former senator, and he has speaking engagements. And so, there's always the opportunity to just drop in a little bit of history and a little bit of reminding people, of who we are and where we come from. So it's really exciting.
I mentioned location earlier about how I see that as a secondary character as well. It wasn't until I did more of a deep dive, just as first glance at the trailer, I just naturally assumed Atlanta. Because I feel like so many movies and sets when it comes to Black affluency and middle class is automatically defaults Atlanta. But I was really happy to see that it was a DMV.
Correct.
And I think for me, that what is being forecasted is that Black wealth is throughout the country.
Well,
Throughout
absolutely.
Throughout the world.
Throughout the world.
But it's not concentrated just to Atlanta.
No, there's a version Daphnée Duplaix
Yeah.
everywhere.
Yeah, that's right.
But I didn't know this either. It wasn't until Sheila, our executive producer, told us. Apparently, Maryland, the D.C. area, has the most affluent communities, right, of wealth, and that's the reason why she wanted to set this show in that area.
That's right. And I have a great friend who we call each other cousin because his last name is Hawkins. That's my mother's maiden name. So we met and we hit it, and we're like, we're cousins, you know. And he is in Maryland. You know, he's in Baltimore, and you know he is he's affluent, and his friends are affluent, and so he had a party. When did we get together? I can't remember, but anyway, and he had people over, and this is when we were it was over the holidays because I went to the Steelers game with him because we're arch rivals with the Ravens, right? And so we go and we talk crap to each other.
Let me find out you football.
Hold
Hold up. I love Mike Tomlinson. Yeah.
Yes.
And I like the Rooney family too.
Absolutely.
As well. They do so much for advocacy.
Yes,
and
they do, and
sports,
it's authentic and it's real. But
sorry,
so
we digress.
But he had people over after the game, his friends, a lot of who I know, and so the commercial, you know, the first trailer had already landed, and so he was like, I want to play the trailer for everybody, you know, and so he put it up on his big TV in his game room, and he's like, everybody, you have to watch this because this is what Tamara's doing, and blah blah blah, and it's about us, y'all. It's about us. And I was like, you got to go ahead and claim it. Yes, that's right. That's right. That's right.
But isn't this, Daphnée, just really about how representation matters, right? And I always talk about pop culture is not as this frivolous being as a lot of individuals perceive it to be. I always feel that pop culture through film, television, in particular in the visual arts, has a way of holding a mirror up to society and asking us, who are we, right? It makes us think.
Yeah, and it not only holding up a mirror, but it also manifests and forecasts.
Right, with that.
Because I am convinced that I did a series called 24 with Kiefer Sutherland. And on that show, Dennis Haysbert was the president of the United States. In a movie, I can't remember the name of it, Morgan Freeman was the president of the United States. And I'm convinced that that's planted the seed for Barack Obama to be the president of the United States. Because art leads. Art always leads.
It does. My incredible playwright, who you guys have probably worked with, Dominique Maruso, she told me years ago, I went to college with her, and she said, Mike, you can always tell what society is ready for 10 years out based upon what is on the television and film. To your point of what you just said.
Absolutely.
There's studies out there that really suggest that.
Yes.
Talk to me about some of the professions that are highlighted in this, because I think that goes to what you and I are talking about.
We have everything on this show, and you know, it's something I've stressed in these interviews is people are going to tune in and see a version of themselves or see the possibilities. I play a therapist. My father is a retired senator. My mom's an EGOT winner. We have, you know, my niece
your husband.
My husband's a plastic surgeon.
Yes.
We have a cop. We have firefighter. We have my niece is
influencer.
No. Oh yeah, that too. But Ariel's role.
Oh, she's an attorney.
But
yes.
For
she's
the public, right? Exactly.
Right.
So you're not just seeing all of this money. You're not just seeing all the glitz and the glam. You're seeing every version of us, and all the storylines are relatable. And there's no way people aren't going to tune in and just get it from the first episode.
Yeah. What I love, though, is that you guys are showing the range of Black culture, right, in our professions that we have. Right?
Absolutely.
Because we're not really highlighted too much in the police officer world, right?
No,
and we're not really highlighted when you think about, like, medicine. And that's why I wanted to just dive a little bit deeper about that to show, like, what is possible.
Yes.
And the fact that we can be doctors, right? That actually plays
But
into
we are those things already.
We are
It's just
indeed.
about normalizing it for the rest of America to see us the way we see ourselves.
Well, let me ask you another question then that I'm thinking about right now then. Talk to me about the time slot that it's in and the role that will play in helping to normalize.
Absolutely. Well, it's 2:00 in the afternoon, you know, and that's actually my old time slot when I was on As the World Turns, you know, and it follows two long-standing shows. So, and audiences tend to be loyal to their network. You know what I mean? So it's on at 2:00 in the afternoon on CBS, and anyone who will ask me, I will say this show is literally changing the face of daytime television.
Yeah.
Because we have never seen this before, and it is establishing a new normal, if you will, and that, you know, I think it's really the impact will really ripple out in a way that is fantastic.
And then the other blessing is that we're being streamed on Paramount Plus, so you don't only have to watch it at 2:00. If you have a job and you can't work or watch it, then come home at 8:00 and tune in, eat dinner, make dinner, and enjoy your soaps.
Yeah,
your
everyone's going to take their lunch at 2:00 to watch a show.
Yeah,
whether they're working or not.
absolutely.
They're going to take their lunch at 2:00 because Beyond the Gates is on. It's going to be like that. You know
exactly.
Talk to me about this. I was curious about when this show got greenlit, and I heard about it through Brandon. What up, Brandon? So proud of you, brother.
Yeah.
When I found out about it and I just feel like this one feels different. It feels more intergenerational, and it doesn't feel like this is just a storyline for grandmother.
No, it is multi-generational.
Yeah.
And my catchphrase is always, this is not your grandmother's soap opera, because it is multi-generational. We have from the matriarch and patriarch who are my age to my great-grandchildren who are teenagers and dealing with things like bullying and you know what I mean. So there's every generation can watch this show and take something away from it, and I think that's something that is really magical and important too.
Exactly.
If I could, just as a personal point of privilege, talk to you tomorrow for a second, because I have been such a fan, and I don't have fan out moments. It's not professional to have fan out moments.
Yes,
I have fan out moments.
Yes, you can. Thank
I've
you.
been such a huge fan of yours for
you.
so long, and you have been on my TV screen for so long.
Thank
and one of the questions I've always, not only the question, but things I think about when you pop onto the screen is how powerful you are in every scene that you show up in. And power can take on so many different forms. It can be soft, it can be emotional, right? But everything I get from you is just power. Personally, how do you hold such incredible agency like that? Like, where does that agency come from? Because that has to come from something. I mean, it's striking, not just your looks, but it's just striking.
My mother.
Yeah.
It comes from my mother, and I will say it, and anytime anybody asks, she was the role model in my life. She was strong. She was smart. She was an activist. She was an advocate. When she saw something that needed doing, she did it. She was the role model for me, and I pull my strength from her, and also, just having, I don't know, I my first Broadway show was with Lena Horne.
Wow.
Okay, and so having that model for the first 6 months that I was in New York City, really added to, from whence I came, and just seeing, that icon, her work ethic and her commitment, et cetera, and then I just want to serve the material in the best way possible, and I'm always trying to look for the dimensions in the characters that I play. They need to be multidimensional people. You know what I mean? So even if I'm playing someone that would be considered a villain, I have to look for the humanity in that villain and understand why they're behaving in the way that they're behaving. And I think that helps the viewer kind of connect in a deeper way, if you will, I guess.
I will tell you, from the moment I found out that she was playing my mother, I was like, the gods have just blessed me. Yeah. And then Clifton Davis came on board. And I'm like, you have got to be kidding me. Like, this is the most amazing thing I could have ever asked for. Then you watch them work. It is literally watching a master class. They are phenomenal. I will literally go on set while they're working. I'm not in the scene, just to watch them work. And then when she walks into the building, walks out of she just holds herself to this. You're literally watching a queen. Yeah. So if I can learn anything from you, pour it all into me.
Thank you, Daphnée. Thank you, Daphnée.
I think that
you're really making me emotional.
You're so sweet.
I couldn't think of a better way to end that conversation, because that is exactly what it is. It's that agency. It's owning the identity it's also too making characters so multidimensional, and I think that's why I gravitated towards you and all the characters you play, because the human interest, we have range. The human experience has range.
That's right.
We are multidimensional.
That's right.
I am performing right now in front of you.
That's
you guys
right.
don't know what I just experienced before I walked through the
Sure,
door.
Right,
exactly.
And you don't know what energy I'm navigating currently,
Right.
But I have to perform, and that is the human experience.
That's right.
And I think that multidimensional is so key, because a villain to you may be a hero to me.
Exactly. That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
And for you to give her flowers right now in front of that says a lot about showing up to watch a scene, even when you're not there just to learn. And I think that is, when you really think about it, the essence of Behind the Gates.
Right.
Yeah.
It's legacy. It's history.
That's right.
It's the provenance.
That's right.
Right.
That's right.
Showing the range of the human experience. The Black diaspora is the
Indeed.
American experience.
Indeed. Indeed. The American experience. Yes.
So thank you for what you guys have done and what you're going to bring to the show.
Thank you.
I'm so excited for you. I'm so proud of you all.
Thank
and I
you.
can't wait to interview you 10-year anniversary of Beyond the Gates audience.
From your mouth to God's
God's
ears.
ears.
Absolutely.
All right. Until next time, folks.
Thank you.